Hello, fellow warriors. Brian King here. We're told that there are very specific ways we can respond to fear, usually in the context of danger. And it only takes into consideration our primal survival reflex, which is, let's say, a saber-toothed tiger or a taxi cab is coming at us or something that puts us in peril. We're taught that the primary ways we can respond are to fight, flight, or freeze like a dead animal. Well, if you believe this is the case, you are essentially cutting off the option of responding in any other way to a situation that you might otherwise feel heightened anxiety or danger. The reality is, we don't have any saber-toothed tigers. We don't have any warring tribes at the moment that are coming to take our land or whatever. We just have typical everyday first world anxieties that we deal with and our own inner critic that amps things up and makes mountains out of molehills. And yet, we tend to respond to these things, sometimes, in the old-fashioned primitive way. Oh no, the boss called me into the office. Oh my God, what if he fires me? What if he reprimands me? What if he cuts my pay? And you whip yourself up into a fight, flight, or freeze response. Okay? There's another response that people typically don't consider, and yet is the one that is the key to being resilient and maintaining your strength, maintaining your confidence in that moment. And that fourth F is forward. Okay? Forward means, how do you keep your forward momentum? How do you push through it even though you feel afraid? Well, one key is a reframe. That this isn't fear, this is energy. This is energy that I can use to increase my focus. This is energy I can use to increase my adrenaline so I can take forward action, okay? So you're prepared to step forward. Now I'm going to give you a new definition of fear that's in service of transforming it into something you can use. And this is my definition. And this is the first time I've ever said it, so you're hearing it for the first time. We're taught that fear means cute things like false evidence appearing real, okay? Or F everything and run. My definition of fear is forward energy activates resilience. Okay? If you keep moving forward, what is resilience? You bounce forward. You take the energy of that adversity, of that hit, and you turn it into forward momentum. You keep pushing so that you gain ground, that you make progress. You follow me on this? So if you're thinking in terms of, maybe you're speculating. Maybe the boss is going to reprimand me. Maybe he's going to cut my pay. Maybe my wife is going to yell at me for something I didn't know I did. When you think in terms of forward energy activates resilience, if you're not sure how to move forward, you simply pose the question, okay, based on what's just happened, what's my next step? What's the first step I can take based on this new information? So you're not thinking in terms of, man, I'm screwed. Well, there's nowhere to go but down. There's nowhere to go but back. No, you can go forward. You don't have to fight it by being defensive and saying, how dare you talk to me like that? Your rules are stupid anyway, or, I've always hated it working here. That's fight. Flight is you walk out in shame with your tail between your legs. And freeze is, oh my goodness, I never saw this coming. I was so comfortable in my little bubble that I never anticipated I'd have to be flexible. Then there's forward, where the universe is always giving you information, and you are in a position and have that unique ability as a human being to choose your response to that information instead of just reacting in terms of fight, flight, or freeze. A resilient mind responds to information, and that's what we're talking about here. You're responding by planning your next step, so that when any kind of fear arises, any kind of anxiety, trepidation, you think of fear and say, man, this is kind of uncomfortable. I want to turn it into something useful. I want to turn it into momentum. I want fear to be forward energy to activate my resilience. So what am I going to do with this? How am I going to turn it into adrenaline? Basically, you're going to call it that because adrenaline is what's happening. But you're saying this energy, this is going to help me focus. This is going to make me step forward. This is going to help me take action. This is going to help me feed my resilience. So I want you to think about this and the implications of it if you tweak your thinking in this way. And I want to hear your comments. So by all means, share them below. And if this is helpful, spread the word. This has been Brian, your Resilience Warrior. Go get him. We'll talk again soon.